Hi, and welcome to episode 13, lucky 13, of the Sticks Plus Twine podcast. My name is Eric. I'm coming to you from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, my home, and I can be found on Instagram as E.P.LUTZ, that's L-U-T-Z or Z, and I can also be found on Ravelry as E.P.LUTZ. We also have a Ravelry group for the Sticks Plus Twine podcast. Do a quick little search and I'm sure you'll find us there. I wanted to say thank you to anyone who's new and checking out. There's been quite a few referrals this week, I think, from podcasts, which I super appreciate. And if you are returning, then you know what you get here. You get sort of whips and FOs and all kinds of fun stuff. And I just realized, having said that, I'm going to have to pause at one point because I forgot my one FO for the week. It's not sitting here in front of me. So that's okay. When we get there, we'll just pause, we'll take a break, and we'll come back to it. So again, thanks to everyone joining. This is a podcast about knitting. I do know how to crochet, I know how to cross stitch, I know how to sew, I can do all those things, but that's not really the focus of what this podcast is about. So let's talk about first what's in my mug. So I'm going to talk about this mug in Acquisitions. It's really cool, color changing mug. But as you can see, the colors at the top, it's a really big mug. Colors at the top have already started to cool off a little bit because I've been drinking this tea already while I've been getting ready to record. So in here, in the teacup, is a Japanese lime green tea. That was a gift from Josh of Sort of a Knitter. So I have a box to my right that is full of stuff that he sent me. So I'm going to go through it in due order, but I wanted to share what I'm drinking first. So that's where we're starting with the drinking part. Let's start right in with the whips. Let's start with this fun little bag that I still have this amazing, cute little Progress Keeper that I love. It has a zipper pull, and you will see it's not attached to yarn. Doesn't mean it's done. It's still a whip. I finished an arm. Woohoo! I finished an arm of the GRAMPS cardie. This is one that I am making for a business colleague who's just, again, delivered time and time again this week. She's, again, delivered above and beyond expectations, so she's very knit-worthy in my book. Missing an arm, missing the button band and collar. That will happen this week. I want to try and get it done and gifted to her before I leave on holiday. Sorry, that big thump was my heat pump kicking in. I hear from feedback that you can't hear the actual heating, but that big thump I'm sure you heard. So if you didn't, yay, but if you did, ooh, I'll find out in editing. I may just have to edit that out. Anyway, really happy with this. I've had a number of people actually reach out and say the same. They had the same kind of quandary as to what to do with these increases, and I don't know that you're gonna, oh, maybe you can see that a little bit. It's picking it up a bit. What to do. It just tells you in the pattern to do your favorite increase. So I did a knit front back. A lot of people said that they liked that too. A lot of people liked doing a make right, make left. To be honest, I did the knit front back because it's easier to remember. I mean, I know how to do both of the make one right, make one left. But when you're doing from the top down and you're sort of looking at it from the open donut, as they refer to it in the pattern, it's hard to remember which one is which, in which direction you're going. And I thought, oh, forget it. I'll just do it one way. So I'm going to try and get that other sleeve done in the next day or two, and then I'll finish the button band. And then I'll just pick up some buttons, and that'll be done. So that's whip number 1, which I am happy to report some progress on finally. I am going to, in my amazing Mrs. Brown's bags in the Lutz collection, this is the sock sack. I actually have 2 socks in here. I made finally some progress on my Petty HARBOUR socks from the last time you saw them. These are my Haya Sharps. These are US 2, I think. I don't remember, to be honest. I've talked about it before. I won't bore you with that. So this is the Petty HARBOUR pattern. This is part of my entry for Jenny at the Lone Larch for her Canadian pattern socks KAL that's happening. Hi, Jenny. I really like this. It's HEDGEHOG fibers in the typewriter colorway. It's in their sock base. And I tried these on for the first time since I decided to do a traditional heel flap and turn, just a slip stitch heel. And I tried them on the other day and they fit perfectly and they actually stay up. They're not quite down to the toes yet. I need to do about another 2 centimeters, not quite an inch, but that'll be good. So that's one. I have to finish the other still. Hopefully I still have time to do that. Really liking it. But since this bag holds, and I can attest to the fact that it holds 2 socks projects, I am also working on a second one. So this is the Arne and Carlos Twilight in the Regia, I guess it's Regia sock. I have had people, I've seen on other podcasts and people sort of say, not crazy with the Regia sock. It feels a bit rough, it's a bit scratchy, and you know what? It feels more durable, that's for sure, I'll say that. But I like it. I love the color, I love the texture. I'm sure it will block out fine, but it feels like these are gonna wear forever, which is good because I am in love with this color and I don't know that I'll ever find another opportunity to get this so much. Maybe, who knows? So there is no real pattern to this one. So what happened on Friday, I just felt like, oh, I really want to cast on for the inside number 23, hi Katie, for her Harry Potter KAL. And the thing is, I looked at all the patterns and I really wanted to do the Weasley Homestead from Erica Luder, who, by the way, can I just say, started following me on Instagram. Hello. But here's the thing, it's not on a 72 stitch count, which is what I do for socks because I have big calves and I kind of need the stretch. So I'm gonna have to do some math, and that's fine, but I wasn't in the mood to do some math, I just wanted to start knitting. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna use my absolute favorite yarn that I've received lately. It's all based on the color. I love, love, love this. I fell in love with it when I saw it the first time. I love the story behind the color name. So I thought, well, what if I did a 2x2 rib at the top, which is, you know, nice and stretchy, but then I just did sort of a 3x1 rib for the rest of the body. Again, and nice and stretchy, but it's sort of like Harry, Ron, and Hermione. I could sort of play it out that way and say, oh, you know what, they're knit together. No. For me, what these have become, oh, I'm stuck on something, you know. Oh, that figures, there we go. These are my PatronusSocks. So what's a Patronus charm? Expecto Patronum, we all know the charm. Well, maybe not Kristen, because you are self-admitted, self-confessed Harry Potter muggle. But a Patronus charm requires you to think of the thing that makes you happiest in this world. And this color does it. So I'm calling these my PatronusSocks. I do have my Harry Potter Progress Keeper, nice little lightning bolt. But these are my PatronusSocks. So I would encourage you, if you are making socks and they're your absolute favorite colors, call them your Patronus. Why not, right? Something else interesting, I actually decided to do a Dutch heel, also known as a square heel in this one. I never tried it before. And I thought, what the heck, I'm gonna try it. See what happens. I probably could have knit the heel flap a little bit longer, to be honest, but I don't have my feet are wider than they are long, and I'm not very tall, so I wasn't worrying about it too much. But I actually found it really easy, and it's fast. Guys, even just doing the gusset, wow, that decrease went fast. I was not expecting it to go quite so quickly. All of a sudden I thought, really, that's it? That's all the decrease I have to do? Anyway, I'm looking at the socks more than at you, and that's not fair. So let's move on, shall we? I don't have that much left of that ball. I have enough to finish, obviously, and I'm gonna have some left over to do, hopefully a mini, because I really wanna get a mini out of that too, to put into my Cozy Memories blanket, which for the 3rd week in a row has had no love. I really, really, really have to get back to doing something with that because I love it. I don't want to miss out on it. I miss not knitting on it, but I just don't have the time right now because I have so many other things on the go. So there's that. The Rift sweater, I'm sad to say, no love this week. When we get to FOs, you'll understand why, because I was really, really trying to hit a deadline for that one. So, but I am upcoming going to have a plenty of time to knit. So I will come back to that. The other thing is, as I reach for my next project bag in my Fringe Supply Co. field bag, which I have to say, guys, if you don't have one, get one. You'll never regret it. It's awesome. I know Meredith has one, maybe 2 by now, I don't know. They just released a special limited edition version. I'm sure that went like that. But I love this bag. It's so handy. But inside this bag, guys, by the way, there are 4 cakes of yarn, plus notions, plus the pattern, plus mini. I've got some DPNs in there. I have my swatches. I have stitch markers. I've got everything inside this bag, and it's just awesome. But I am using it to hold section 1 of the pattern for the exploration station. What's the best way to hold this? I took the needles out because I needed them to do the GRAMPS cardi, and I'm going to put this on hold just for a week or so until we start phase 2. But this is my exploration station. It's going to look awesome. I'm going to be really happy with it when it's done. I'm happy with it now, to be fair. The colors are, who was it? Someone actually sent me a message and said they thought the colors were a little more washed out than they expected, but I think that's just the photography. To be honest, sorry, itchy nose. When you see them balanced out properly, when they're actually in situ now, I'm even more in love with these colors than I was before. I'm loving, this is the Grand Central Station ceiling from Madeline Tosh. This is the Brooklyn Brownstone, and this is Urban Flagstone. All these are Mad Tosh, and then the very top and the edgings are all Manhattan Schist. So I'm really liking these. You will note that I don't have very many ends because it was killing me. It was driving me nuts because you change colors so often, especially in the beginning, that I just couldn't handle all of the ends. So I took to start weaving them in. After I got to the point of frustration, I just forget it. I'm weaving them in. Get them done now. It's totally fine because I like to weave in before I block anyway. I know some people sort of say one way or the other. I always weave in before I block. So I think I have fluff. Oh, there's fluff. Sorry. It's actually not as big as I thought it was going to be. Obviously it's not been blocked or anything. I'm sure it will grow, but I'm really liking it. I will say this, the pattern's really well written. The secret for me was figuring out you do exactly what Steven says to do. Don't improvise, don't second guess. If you're a stitch short on one of the wedges, which I found that I was on one of them, I thought, okay, I haven't finished all the turns that he said to do. If I've done all the turns in the short rows, then I will have the right number of stitches. I thought, well, maybe I'll throw in an extra stitch somewhere. Nope, just do what he tells you to do. And that's how I ended up with second guessing. I actually did a double row of the separating Manhattan Schist between the color blocks. Not a big deal. I don't care. I noticed it sort of partway through. I was not about to rip back and fix it. I don't care. Honestly, it's not that big a deal. By the time this goes like this, when it's around my neck, I'm never going to see it. Don't care. But I learned my lesson. Just do what he tells you to do. So anyway, the KAL, I have to say, guys, the amount of response, the amount of interaction, the amount of engagement, I couldn't be happier. I'm thrilled with the amount of effort you guys are putting into it. Phase 1 is open until I think I said the 9th of March. Today's the 6th, so you have 3 more days. If you haven't cast on, go for it. That took me 2 evenings to do the whole first part of it. What really was not a big deal. You'll enjoy it. It's fun. I have opened phase 2 in the Ravelry group because so many people were already at that point where they just wanted to keep moving. So I opened phase 2. I'm not going to open phase 3 until the time frame, which I think I said was the 20th. Ooh, having said that, guys, I'm going to be away on vacation. I say vacation for my American viewers. I'll be away on holiday for everyone else internationally. So I'm not going to be around. So I'm thinking maybe I might have to. We're leaving on the 19th, so it may open a day early, but that's about it. But I want to keep encouraging everyone to keep moving forward and having fun. but I think it's going to be awesome. I'm going to continue to knit on mine as well while we're away. So with that, we talked about pretty much everything. Why don't we talk a bit more about KALs, since we've already touched on 2 of them. So the Box of Socks KAL from Kristen is still going on. That's a year-long one, so no rush, no worry there. That was the other thing. I feel like I've got my January socks were done. My February socks will be the Petty Harbour socks in the Hedgehog fibers in the TYPEWRITER colorway. So that's February. March will be the Regia Arnie and Carlos Twilight, the ones that I just showed you. So that'll be my PatronusSocks. So that's 3. So I've got January, February, March. So I'm still on track. I'm good, y'all. I'm good. I'm also this sweater along that's happening with Mina, and for the first quarter is being co-hosted with Nessa from Kill to Craft podcast. Hi, Nessa. And hi, Mina, for that matter. I didn't say hi to you yet. So I'm kind of hoping that I will, well, it's a year-long KAL. I was really hoping to have the Rift sweater done by the end of March. Looks like it's probably going to be April, by which point here it may be too warm to wear, but that's okay. I'm going to do it anyway, because why not? That I'm knitting out of the Quince & Co. Lark, so I was hoping to have that done in time for the Quince Along that Laura from the Fun Knits is hosting. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. We'll see how fast I can get that done. So let's talk about some KAL fails. I was hoping to have the GRAMPS cardi done in time for the Little Along that Little Bobbins Danny was co-hosting. Fail. Didn't make it. That's okay. Totally fine. I'm not going to make it every time. Also, the Finish and Feb KAL that Kemper was hosting from Junk Yarn podcast. Fail. I got 1 done. I was hoping to get 2 or 3. I got 1 done. So I did post 1. That's okay. Hi guys. So I went on a bit of a tangent of stupid there for a bit. It's Eric, use your words. Words were not my friend for the moment. So thought, what the heck? Let's just pause it there. Go and get the FO that I didn't get a chance to show you yet. And then we'll just keep moving. So I am really, really pleased. I made the deadline. I finished it in time to show you the finished Wendy Sky Shawl. Ta-da! I'm covering my face, but that's okay. Guys, it's super long. Long. It has been blocked. It's been washed and it's been blocked in my favorite soak, which is soak. For the blocking liquid. This had a ton of dye that came out, which I was expecting because I've seen that with Sweet Georgia before, which is the darker color being the raspberry with Sweet Georgia, and this is the Richard DeVries Candy Floss. I was expecting a lot to come out. A lot came out, but it makes such a difference. It feels amazing. I know for a first-time shawl, long rose. It was good. I know it's not probably the longest or biggest one that I will ever make, but what I will say is I love the pattern. The pattern, I should mention, is now out. Debbie REECE is the designer, and she released it on her birthday, which was Friday. So happy birthday, Debbie. And I will say that it was definitely a fun knit. I messed up on one piece, but let's just say I innovated and improvised. And it came out to be exactly the right stitch counts. Anyone who's wondering, for me, this came out to 457 stitches at the end. Casting off took a while, not going to lie. But I loved it. I haven't figured out how to fold it yet to sort of make it make sense. Maybe it's a guy thing. I'm trying to engineer this so that I can fold it properly. But I love it. Thank you for inviting me to participate in the test knit, Debbie. I really enjoyed that. And I think Chris probably put her on to me to do that as well. So Chris, I will say thank you again, because that was a lot of fun. And I know my mom's going to love it. I'm going to see her, I think, this weekend. Oh, it's Mother's Day in the UK, I believe, today. So happy Mother's Day to all the moms. Mother's Day here in North America is the 3rd Sunday in May, so a little bit away, but I think I might gift it to my mom this weekend anyway, because I think she'll enjoy it, and it's still cool enough that she'll be able to use it. So, I think that was all of the current knitting stuff. So I'm going to talk about acquisitions next. So I forgot last week, and the reason I forgot is because we were using them, that Chris Kelly, in the great big box of amazingness stuff that she sent, also sent a couple of, these are not attached, I'm just holding them up together so you can see them, of dishcloths, which I have never made before, and I've never worked with cotton yarn. I think this is cotton, it feels like cotton. But I'm loving them, and I didn't even think to show them last week because, frankly, they were being used in my kitchen, which is just like 5 feet that way. But I love this one. The sort of rainbow colors on this. It eventually, of course, loses some of the dye. When this came, it was super vibrant, and I was like, "Oh, look at that! I'll give it a bit of a rinse and see." Oh, yeah, a lot of dye came out of that. It was fun, but I love these. It makes me kind of want to make some, and I've got this idea now of maybe doing some face cloths and some spa accessories, and where I could really take sort of the organic cotton place into. So if you got any suggestions around that, let me know. It'd be great to hear from you. Let's see, what else? I think next, so I popped out to the Purple Pearl yesterday because I wanted to pick up something, which I'll show you in a minute. And I thought while I was there, I'd pick up a few different things that I was needing. So one of them was I needed some more soak. Nice, good Canadian company. This is the YUZU scent, which is my favorite. I'd only bought the little bottles before, but I thought I've been enjoying using it so much. I know it's not technically the best for scouring and washing your knitwear, but frankly, I think it's just fine. I like it. Now, what it also says, I just noticed, is that you can also use it in high-efficiency machines. Don't know if I'd try that. We have an HE machine, but I don't know if I would try it. I would still do this for hand knits. But I haven't even opened this one. If you haven't smelled this one, can't smell it through the lid. It's really well sealed. I love it. It's a really fresh citrusy scent. I don't mind eucalyptus scent, but I think for me, I'm all about the citrus for everything. So that's... Picked up that, and then I also picked up, I bought yarn. I know, it was bad. This is TURTLEPURL, let's use your words again, Eric. TURTLEPURL yarns, which is hand-dyed, striped, and of course they're two, and they're perfectly matched. These are 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 4-ply fingering weight, 460 yards and 100 grams. So, yeah, I think, what's their website? turtlepurl.artfire.com. And these make perfectly matched socks that you can knit two at a time. I have it already. I have trench coat from them. But I saw this and I thought, oh, Grello, have to have it. So, I mean, it won't quite do the smooshy thing, but I'm loving that color. I saw it and just thought, what the heck, I have to have it. But I was also there because I wanted to pick up... Yeah, I bought it. Yeah, it has no men's knitting in it whatsoever. But I wanted to see what the big fuss was about. I wanted to try and understand how they made it come together as I'm flipping through. What did the patterns look like? I wanted to understand it because even though it's not male focused, I know they have had men's patterns in before. And I would love to see more, obviously, that stuff that I can knit. But there's quite a few things that, for instance, this unfold cowl that you could see. That's actually in crochet, but if it was in knit, I would knit that. I could totally knit that. This sweater, Right Angle by Georgia Farrell, that could be adapted into a men's sweater pattern pretty easily, but I'd have to do a lot of math to figuring that out. These are really cute little fingerless gloves. Those I actually will make. But again, it's in crochet. So I think I might have picked up the wrong issue to start with. Okay, I got absorbed, so I'll come back. I'm gonna edit that part out. So while I was at the Purple Pearl, I just went in to pick up. So this is how nice they are. I saw on Instagram they had listed that they now had Home and Away, their new pattern collection, in store. I just happened to make a comment, so you wouldn't happen to have the POMPOM Quarterly latest issue in stock. Sure enough, they did, and they put one away for me, which was nice, because I know it's kind of hard to find. So I went in to pick that up, and I thought they were in the middle of a class, and I thought, oh, sorry for interrupting. The class was like, no, we're just sitting around knitting. So I want to talk about a local yarn store. They just said, why don't you come join us? Just sit down and knit. And I happened to have my socks with me, of course. So I thought, what the heck, I'll sit and knit. Next thing I know, hour and a half later, maybe an hour, I had to leave before my parking ran out because I didn't want to get a ticket. But it was really nice. It was lovely. So I think I'll be doing that more often. I've been wanting to spend a bit more time out in the community. This week, I found a meetup group called Pints and Pearls, which I think the woman who started the Toronto chapter had gone to the New York chapter. So I don't know that it's necessarily unique. But I was going to go this week, but unfortunately I just got stuck working. So I couldn't really make it. But that's okay. Not a big deal. They do it, I think, every week. So I'm going to try and go this week. But it was nice to sort of sit and talk and just sort of socialize and get some knitting done at the same time. So that was cool. What else did I get? Oh, I had placed an order from Fringe Supply. Removable stitch markers. I love these sort of, where they've got the springless, or what do they call that? Snagless stitch markers. I love these. They're great. And I love that they come in these sort of old-fashioned envelopes. And they're brass. Well, they're brassy anyway. You probably can't quite see. But they're really cute. I like those. Then I bought also these stitch markers. But what I didn't realize when I bought these, they had them in different sizes. So these are the small and medium, but they're huge. I didn't think they were going to... Small and medium, I was expecting like something that'll fit, you know, maybe up to a 4 or 5 millimeter needle, but that's the small. Like that is really not that small. You know, on a pen, maybe not the best pen to show you on. This is a pretty big pen. It's pretty chunky. And you can see, like, it's actually pretty small, and then they're pretty big. The medium's even bigger. So, not overly impressed with that. More fool me, I probably should have sort of figured out what is the actual size as opposed to what's the size, you know, how big is a small. But it's okay. I'm sure I will use them, but it just wasn't quite what I was looking for. So that's okay. I also ordered... Knitter's Graph Paper Journal. If you haven't checked this out, I saw these when I was at Pearl Soho with Mina during Vogue Knitting Live, and I think she had picked one up. It's actually just regular graph paper, but the graph paper is oriented so that the horizontal aspect is wider than the vertical, so it makes it easier for creating stitch patterns. Really handy on the back, it's got a dictionary, visual dictionary of stitches, and in the front it's got a ruler with centimeters on the back. In the front it's a ruler with inches, also standard yarn weights, needle checklist, fabric care symbols, all great stuff. So if you're, you know, it's your basic go-to. Yeah, have you noticed I'm a bit of a junkie for notebooks? I can't help it, I gotta have them. So I picked this up for, you know, if in the off chance that I ever decided to start wanting to design anything myself, that I'd have the right tools at least to do that. So, yeah, it was a bit of a yarn acquisition, non-yarny kind of yarn adjacent, knitting adjacent kind of acquisition week. The big acquisition of the week came in a very large box that, wow, I was not expecting anything near this. This all came from my very, very lovely dear friend, Josh, who is sort of a knitter. His Sort of Knitter podcast is also Geonitrix, in the designer, who does great, amazing, fun, accessible, colorful work. Think Stephen West without this sort of like crazy. I love Stephen West, but some of his stuff's a bit out there. Josh's designs are way more accessible, and I think a lot more wearable for a lot of people. Anyway, my opinion, share it or don't share it, that's okay. And on top of this box was this very lovely card that says open first, so I did. There was a very lovely note from Josh explaining what was sort of inside, which was cool. And I'll start with sort of from the front to the back. A great pattern for his ad hoc shawl, which, thank you, Josh. I'm definitely going to take a look at that. He sent in this great envelope some minis in great fun, amazing, bright neon colors, which I currently do not have any in my stash. And I love these. I have some that are close. I have some one that's sort of maybe around there. But these are bright. And as much as I want to put these in my blanket, I might save these for another project. Something that would really, really make use of, oh, that's really washing out the yellow. Make use of these colors in a proper way. Something that's really cool and vibrant that maybe I wouldn't necessarily wear every day, but for a good jazz of color, couldn't really beat that. He also sent 2 skeins of yarn. This is the Plucky Knitter, which I have never knit with before. This is, what is this? Plucky Bellow. This is 55% merino and 45% cashmere, hollow. This is in the Haberdasher colorway, which is amazing. And he also sent Northbound Knitting. This is an exclusive colorway to one of their yarn clubs. This is called Throne. This is superwash merino and nylon, 75% and 25%. I love this color. This is, if I can reach around the box, hang on one sec. Yeah. I want all the Grello in the world. Their Grello are belong to us. I love this. So thank you, Josh, for that. And as if that wasn't enough, like, come on, guys, like that's a lot, right? 4 pouches of David's Teas, Juicy Orange, Citron Oolong, Long Life Oolong, and Pink Flamingo, which is amazing. All of these are amazing. I've actually tried quite a few already. And then, if you guys haven't watched, Josh was just in Sweden and bought a ton of teas. He went through, and some of them are pouched, and then some of them are individually. I think there's, how many did he put in there? 20 different varieties of tea. And went through and put the loose leaf tea in a paper tea bag, put each, I think there's a couple of each flavors, each into a numbered little baggie, and then put them in a larger bag so that, and then hand wrote out each one of them. Now that is a true friend and a true aficionado of tea. So like literally it's almost like a big ball of tea. I think I've tried 6 or 7 different ones since I got it, and I'm loving each one. And that's also where the mug came from. It was also part of the delivery. So, which I love. I love the color changing. I love how big it is, and I just felt it so appropriate that considering it's cherry blossoms and cranes and it's very spring, and the Japanese lime flavor green tea is just amazing. So. It's got a little tepid. I'll have to rewarm that. So that's all the acquisitions for this week. Just talk a little bit about what's, I'm just going to babble on a little bit, what's the week been like. So if you're not interested in that, feel free to switch on something else. I will say Candace's Pin, Feather, and Pearls episode this week was great. So was Jenny from Lone Larch. Of course, I love Mina's. Mina's leaving soon for England, I think in the next couple of days. Oh, and I started listening to Helen Stewart's Curious Handmade podcast. I was in the car for a bit. Problem with audio podcasts for me is not that I don't want to listen to them, is that I only listen to them when I'm in the car. I know that there's a ton of new podcasts that just with the week is the way that it's been, I haven't had a chance to really watch all of them. So when I'm away on holiday, I'm actually going to be downloading quite a few and taking them with me so I can hopefully catch up. So let's see what happened this week. We had a big storm on Tuesday night. We were busy at work, which is all good. Things are moving really well in a very positive direction. Today's really nice out. All the snow, we got snow from that storm, quite a bit of it, but it's all, I'm looking outside, it's almost all melted and gone. There's not much left. This week's going to be really warm. I think one of the days we're going to have a high of like 13 to 15 degrees, which is in Celsius. So Americans, you can do the math. I don't know what that is in imperial. What else happened this week? Oh, watch the Oscars. There wasn't one film this year, guys, that I was actually like dying to see win stuff. I loved Mad Max, and I was really surprised to see that they won as much as they did, but I had low expectations of them winning things. I thought it deserved it 100%. But we did watch Spotlight this week. Did it deserve best film of the year? Let me just say this, as Debbie and Amy would like to say, if you can't be nice, be quiet. So I'm just not going to say anything more about that. What else? We watched a couple more movies. Sebastian's not been working too crazy, which is nice. He's working today and is leaving tomorrow for, I don't even know where he's going. It does feel very spring-like. I know it's counterintuitive. The more spring comes, the more I want to hold on to winter, because I like doing the cozy things. But we are experiencing, it's quite warm and it's quite nice outside, but I made a potato leek soup for dinner today, which is good. So it's kind of spring-like. We are leaving on the 19th of March. We're leaving on a cruise for 8 days. So I will be recording this upcoming weekend. I don't think I will have another episode then until April. I know it's going to be a while. You never know. I might film some clips here and there along the way. But I don't think between the time of the cruise, I don't think I'm going to have enough bandwidth to be able to upload anything. So might have to just hold out, guys. Just have to hold on. It's really not that long that I'm gone. It's 8 days, right? We'll make it work. So the last thing I was going to talk about is I am now going to shut this off. I'm going to edit it and hopefully get it uploading so that I can start watching, get back into House of Cards. Season 4 was released on Friday. I think I'm on episode 4 or 5. I've lost track. But while Sebastian's away, who doesn't watch House of Cards, that's my time to sort of binge watch. So I will be done that in the next couple of days. And then something else is coming out soon on Netflix. Oh, Daredevil Season 2. Can't wait for that one too. Anyway, that's enough babbling for me, I think, for 1 week. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for all of your comments and your feedback, all your support, everyone who reached out in whatever way or form that they chose to. Thank you so much. Really, I very much appreciate your support. And we'll see you soon. All right, take care and have a great week. Bye-bye.